Welcome back to part 2 over at Hall Road. I wanted to show everybody a little bit about our backyard and our plants out here and some of the work that we're doing. And some of the questions I got from the first video was just a little bit more about the property and how this land got parceled out. So it was the house was built in 1947, and around that time they were building a lot of single family parcels out here, trying to turn some of the agriculture land into single family homes post World War II. So this whole parcel was part of that development in the late 40s after the war. And this whole property, everything around Hall Road, so we're in what's called the Laguna de Santa Rosa, which is, we're sort of on the northeast corner of the Laguna, but behind us is like all behind these properties is all preserved Laguna land. A lot of it floods. We're really on like a higher part, and we don't have any flooding issues back here, but the Laguna is like a very important and big part of sort of northwest Santa Rosa in the landscape here. And the Laguna de Santa Rosa was originally Pomo territory, and in the late 17th century, when people started settling this area, obviously it was taken from the Pomo, which is a lot of this area, part of Santa Rosa was. And the first people on record to own this land and all this parcel, these hundreds of acres around us and behind us, was the Hessel family, which is a big Sebastopol family, and there's even like a sort of sub-town within Sebastopol called Hessel. And then the Hessels parceled out this land when post-World War II, when they were doing this incentivization to be able to build these farmhouses. So this half acre, it's a little bit more, 0.6 acres that we have, is surrounded by a 4-acre property to our west, and then a 7-acre property behind us. It's all pretty much horses, and then just this one house over here. And so if we spin around the house, this is sort of coming out of the kitchen, and we have this deck. For context, this is a medical swim spa. The sellers that originally lived here, who we bought the house from, were very sweet, wonderful people, and the wife used the swim spa a lot. It's really cool. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. Maybe make it an aquaponic tank. I don't know what we're going to do. Problem for another day. But we'll be able to fill in this deck at some point and remove the swim spa. And nobody please suggest us keeping it, because we're not going to keep the swim spa. This is a coal fire pit, more moose. This is a really beautiful oak tree. It's really nice to have back here. It really gives us a lot of shade. So this whole, I want to power wash all this. We have this big like concrete area, and then this is all where they planted all their stuff. It actually has, what is that stuff called underneath?
Mulch, or the weed guard.
Weed guard underneath, so it's like mulch and then weed guard, so it just stays like this, and then all this river rock and stuff. So this will be where we're gonna put all our above ground planters, and the sellers left us a few of those galvanized steel planters, which is really great. This you'll see soon. This is a gray water pipe that has been cut from the washer. So it's really great that we have this gray water, because it means that all of the washer stuff isn't going directly into the septic, but we need to repipe this and put the gray water somewhere else. So we are going to work with our septic guys next week, and the septic guys are also going to come out and put some risers into our septic tank so that it's a little bit more easily accessible. Fun fact, when we put our offer in and started doing the inspections on the house, nobody knew where the septic tank was. So that was a really fun 2-day exploration process, and we ended up finding it's in the driveway. It's fine, septic's in fine shape. So also what we're gonna have to do here, so we're on a well, a 1967 well. It's 65 feet deep. So far we think it's gonna be fine, but you know, at some point in this wonderful home's future, she is going to need a new fresh well. So we will cross that bridge hopefully in a decade, but for the time being, we are gonna put a really perfect surgical Band-Aid, and we are going to give our existing well a new pump, and then we're going to get a whole house water filtration system and a reverse osmosis water filtration actually in our kitchen. And that's all going to go here, which I know isn't ideal because we could put it somewhere else if we want to put it in the barn, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to put it here because no matter what, when we get our new well, we're going to need a new well pump and water filtration system anyway. So we'll move on to a little bit more in the backyard. That out there, the chestnut mare out there is named Tessa, and the cute gray dapple gelding is named Nico. Those are named. So we got some fence posts that we're using for the chicken stuff. We got too many of them, but I'm sure that we'll use them again at some point. This is where our septic tank access is located. Super random, but it's fine, and we just need to put risers in so it's a little bit more easily accessible. And then our garage is behind us, which is a little bit unexciting. And then we don't have any natural gas here. It's all a propane tank, so this is our propane that heats the furnace. And then we have an electric hot water heater, and that's the well access, that little house over there, which we may or may not keep. This is my horse barn of my childhood dreams. This is just a little one horse stall. Probably where Hot Dog the horse lived, and they had a few other horses here. And then there's a cute, sweet little tack room. That I love, and they left me some fun stuff. I was pulling apart all of this because I wanted to bring these lead ropes. These are really good lead ropes, actually. And I wanted like maybe use some of this old tack that they left to be like art on the wall. I'm gonna do something like that. And I don't think there are cats, but they do feed cats in here. We've seen one cat that could be the cat that we're feeding. We're definitely feeding something, whether it's a cat or whether it's something else. It's our chicken coop. There's a lot of chickens in here. We need to just like make some more roosting bars, but they've put like a bunch of brick pavers on the bottom of the coop, which is really great. Just need to clean it out, decobweb it. And then this is the field we really need weed whacked. And Brian today has been working really hard to get our smaller chicken area set up. So we currently have 4 laying hens that live feral in our current backyard, and we have 3 baby chicks that live in our living room in a brooder that Brian built. So we're going to make just like a little smaller chicken area back here that's fenced off, just so that they aren't like fully in this huge field all the time. And I'm gonna need to gauge a little bit of safety, just making sure, you know, that they're familiar with all of this. And then I actually need to integrate our baby chicks with the big girls at some point. So we'll probably do that here. I think it'll actually go better with them all in a new place instead of like in the 4 girls we have backyard. So Brian, we rented an auger, and Brian dug these 2 post holes. So that we got some like high tensile livestock fencing that's similar to the fencing that's already around the property. We got these posts a little bit higher because chickens love to fucking fly out of their area, and I know that a 6 foot or anything less than a 6 foot fence would not be high enough. So these are 8 foot posts, but they'll end up being about 6 feet. And we'll connect it to the coop, so they just have this area, and then they'll have like some protection under this bush and this tree. So those are the big projects we're doing right now. We have demo on the floor for the flooring starting on Tuesday, and then the hickory arrives, and it needs a couple days to acclimate in the house. And then we have the well people coming out for a well pump on Thursday. And then once the flooring is finished up, we need to wait a week before we can walk on the flooring, but we need to wait a week before we can move stuff in. So we'll be moving in between May 1st and May 5th. But we'll give more updates. I just wanted to give everybody a lay of the land, literally and figuratively. And we're really excited, and thanks for everybody's support.